What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Real Deal Sports. The usual guys here, myself, we got John the Baptist, and then we got Big Walt. How you guys doing? How's everything?
Man, I'm real good.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah, there's a lot. Compared to last week, this week way crazier in sports. So way better. I'm loving this week.
yeah,
I'm
it's
I'm
been
good. You know what I'm saying? We have been a good week, nice little week. About to be the weekend, so
yeah,
about to probably have a little family time and chill out.
yeah. So let's get into it, guys. We tend to argue on this show. But
Just a
I
little,
don't,
just a
I
little.
don't think one of us has ever told the other, "I'll beat your ass." Like this situation that went down in Miami between
Okay.
Jimmy Butler and Udonis Haslam. I would consider him and Dwayne Wade pretty much Mister Miami. UD more than D Wade because he's born and raised down there. Went to college in Miami. Like he had the perfect career. You born and raised, you go to college, and then you play for the pro team. He's never left the state of Florida to do anything besides play other teams. So, guys, what is your take on this whole, this little spat they had during the game that they end up losing, and Golden State didn't have their best three players. We're gonna start with you, Walt. What's your take on it, bro?
Um, I just want to say I actually love it. Honestly, like man, I hate to say it, but I mean, let's be real though. I mean, Jimmy Butler, that's his mo though. I mean, if you really
Yeah,
think about it, I mean, Jimmy Butler is real competitive. Jimmy Butler has no filter. He don't care what nobody got to say. He doesn't care what comes out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's just going back to when he was playing with Chicago, even Philly. I want to say the Timberwolves, and currently with the Heat. So I
true.
mean, we all know that's Jimmy's mo. I mean, he a leader. I mean, that's just how he comes off as a leader. I should say he
Yeah,
say what he wants to say. He doesn't care who he says it to, regardless if you're the owner, head coach, assistant coach, your mama, you don't he don't care. So I mean, that's just Jimmy Butler. And like I said, I like it because like I said, it shows their competitive side, shows that their willingness to win. You know what I'm saying? It shows that he actually cares about winning, whatever, you know what I'm saying, that they were arguing about. Jimmy supposedly said that, you know what I'm saying, Haslam and Eric Spoelstra were only relevant back in the day because of Wade.
yeah,
That's a little hard stuff to say, but I
yeah,
mean, hey,
yeah.
like I
That's right.
said,
But they, I
Butler
mean,
don't care.
yeah,
Butler don't care. But I mean, like I said, I like it though because they currently number one in the East, and I mean they did lose to to the Warriors even though they didn't have their players. But I mean, it's still regular season. Doesn't matter. They still number one in this East. But I mean, yeah, it's just another game. Nothing
and
nothing, nothing big.
and before you go, John, little backstory. Actually, the argument was between Spolstra and Butler. Butler kind of threatened Spolstra,
Mm.
and that's why UD chimed in like, "No, you ain't. This ain't that. I'll put hands on you for him. You don't play with my
I mean,
coach
but
because
Haslam, we all know he the OG though. He
yeah,
like he
yeah.
don't play
So
that.
that's a little backstory. That's how UD got involved. Kind of like when somebody talking to an old man crazy. You like, I'm not gonna let you beat up this old man. I'll put hands on you for the old man.
But I don't really think
So
Jimmy Butler was gonna put hands on Spoelstra.
A
No.
younger old man gonna put hands on you for the older old man. I
yeah,
think Haslam might
exactly.
be. I don't think Haslam might almost be older than Spoelstra, man.
He could be.
He's
He
not
could be.
far behind.
They could be probably the same age, but they both,
Yeah.
been in Miami forever,
Right.
Spoelstra and everything. So go ahead, John. What's your take?
Yeah, when you think about like a lot of teams, they're lifers, right? They have you got Kobe and Dirk, but not every team has those. Like some teams,
Mm,
like Miami has them. We had Nick Collison down in OKC.
true.
For everyone, it's not always, and so those guys still have a certain level of respect, even though the rest of the NBA might not. They still have a
Mm,
certain level of respect there, and especially Haslam because, like you said, born in Miami, high school in Miami, college in Florida. played all 19 seasons in Miami.
Yeah.
So, but that's the bigger story, right? It's not the Haslam thing. It's so much as it's Spoelstra, right? You can't be. I don't know what was said. What I'm maybe it'll never come out what was actually
Mhm.
said, but you can't be threatening your coach, obviously. And he was mad, and they're fired up. I think it's all. What was it? Don Lemon made up the saying it's a nothing burger. I think he made that up. I don't know
Mhm.
what it means, but I like it. This is a
Right.
nothing burger to me. These guys are like this, man. Jimmy's a disciplined guy. He's one of the most disciplined players in the league. It was no surprise to me that him and LeBron were in the bubble finals because while other stars were imploding all around him, having terrible series, these two guys just went to work. And so
Right.
in a situation that wasn't, normal situation. So Jimmy's that kind of guy. So Haslam's got to know his place too, though. You can't be saying you're going to beat someone's ass unless it's warranted. And so that's what I'm trying to. That's what we'll never. I mean, listen. I don't care if you're a lifer or not. This guy's the one who brought you to the finals. You haven't averaged five. Haslam hasn't averaged 5 points a game since 2011. In the last 6 years, he's only played a total of 60 games. In the last, he's played 55 games in the last 6 years. That's less than 10 games a year. So he hasn't started. He's only started 2 games in the last 7 years. Like goes on and on. Over the last 5 or 6 years, he's played a total of about 21 quarters. If you add up all his time, that's about 5 games. So
He did his dirt already.
what?
Huh?
He did his due diligence already.
Oh, true.
Hey,
I mean,
we're talking 11 years ago now.
we got three
Like this
rings.
dude hasn't
Man.
averaged. This dude haven't averaged more than 4 points a game in 11 years. So he's got to know his place too. So that's why I'm saying like I don't think this was just anything. I don't think he was just saying I'm gonna beat your ass for no reason. I kind of do wonder what Jimmy actually might have said that made it go that far.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I do think it's like I said. I do think it's nothing, and it will But we'll see. I think it'll blow over. But even if you're, yeah, it just because he's getting paid like the minimum to be like I guess a spokesperson on the bench.
He's
I don't
probably
really
the
know
player's
what
coach.
his thing is at this
He-
point, but yeah, player coach type of
This is
thing.
role.
I would say player's coach. More.
But he's not. He's not. Yeah, he's not a motivational speaker, so who knows? Maybe he is in the locker room, but I don't know. Even if you're Tony Robbins or whoever famous motivational speaker, like
Yeah.
you still don't get to tell guys you beat your ass unless he might have threatened Spoelstra in some
Right.
sort of physical way, and so that would not be good. And also, this is kind of taken away from Jordan Poole's story, man. Jordan Poole's the hero of this game, and it kind of went under the radar. That kid's been having himself a nice little back half of the season. Man, if you were to take the All-Star game and split it up in two halves, sure, Wiggins might have been an All-Star in the first half of the season, but Jordan Poole is now coming out and making his bid for, if he had played like this and gotten the opportunity before the All-Star break, he might have been the chosen All-Star. So kudos to him. But yeah, I think the bigger story is, did he really threaten Spoelstra? That's a big no-no. And then also Jordan Poole, man, like kudos to Jordan Poole for getting himself.
And that's another thing though that you made a point about. I mean, honestly, the fact that, like you said, the Warriors did that, without Curry, Clay, and Green, and pretty much that just shows how much depth they have. You know what I'm saying? So, or how it's showing that how Poole is starting to develop more as what I'm saying Curry, sit out for whatever amount of time, and he has to sit out with the left ankle injury. So
Yeah, he's 26 points a game over the last 11 games.
that's tough.
Yeah, over 50% from three. He leads the league in 3-pointers made during that stretch. It's crazy. He's balling.
Yeah, I think my thing about it is it happens. Stuff happens. But I do think hypothetically, if things don't go right in Miami after this, like say hypothetically they lose to a Brooklyn team, 1 versus 8 first round, that's not a cakewalk. But as far as Jimmy goes, I think sometimes that it can weigh on people. Like, bruh, do your job. Do your job. Do your job. I'm a professional just like you. You do yours. The other four of us do ours. We should win the game. So I think, that could be something. It's like it just weighs on people like, bruh, be smooth. You upset about every small thing And then if you really look at it, the common denominator is him. With the Bulls, with Minnesota. I didn't really hear much about him in Philly, but you've
I
been
mean,
on.
and supposedly in Philly, isn't that where he said he took the bench and whooped all the starters in the
Was that
practice,
Philly or was that Minnesota?
and then called them a bunch of bums? I
I
thought that
I
was
think
in
think I
Philly.
think that was Minnesota.
Okay, never mind.
I believe I
I
could
think
be
you're
I
right. I
could
think you're
be
right. I
wrong.
think you're right.
might have been.
But like that stuff, it could weigh on people. And you keep going from team to team. Yes, you're productive, but it's like, bruh, back off, back off.
But that's the thing, though. I feel like people are putting up with it because he is productive, though. I mean, as much as I,
Yeah, but I mean, if you keep having to go from team to team, because
but think about it, he's only going to team because I mean, I think what for money. I mean, if you think about it in Philly, I mean, they really didn't want to let him go in Philly, though. That Joel Embiid and Butler combination, I thought was pretty decent. I mean,
yeah,
And this is that whole conversation was like, would you rather have T.O. and go to the Super Bowl or bench T.O. because you don't like him saying stuff about you? That's what
yeah.
this is, right?
that's a good
You have
point.
to
In a
choose.
way, yeah,
Yeah, and we'll talk about Urban Meyer later, not about this specific thing, but like Urban Meyer, that's one of the things with him, right? Is like when you're winning, it goes under the radar, but the second you start losing, people are like, oh, I don't like all the stuff he says during the heat of the moment. He says stuff. And that's the thing, man, is like you do have to be a little thick skinned to deal with stuff that's said by people in the heat of the moment, but also in the heat of the moment, you as a player have to have some sort of control. You can't just be always that guy who, oh yeah, in the heat of the moment, he'll say some stuff about you that
right,
you ever can't
yeah.
ever really come back from. And it's like you can't be that guy either. So it works both ways. So yeah.
All right, great topic. All right, guys, we're gonna switch gears, man. We're gonna go to the league, the Shield, as they call it, the NFL, man. Mr. Tariq Hill, receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, has been traded to the Miami Dolphins for, I think his contract was 4 years, 120 mil, no, 140 mil, excuse me, 70,
120.
70,
120. I think it's
120.
120.
Was it
Yeah.
120? Okay, I was right the first time. 120, and I think 72 and a half guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So he's making a pretty good chunk of change. Um, but I don't know, guys. I don't know. My personal opinion. It's going to be interesting to see if he can take everything he was doing in Kansas City, take it, have that same production in Miami. Same thing for Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be interesting to see. A lot of them bombs. Tariq Hill's on the other end of a lot of. So personally, for me, I can't say who won or who lost. It really will. I would have to wait till the season gets started to see. All right, well, Pat ain't missing none. He, 15 touchdowns in 4 games. He looks like he's doing all right to me. He ain't missing no beats. So it's gonna be. It's. I think we just really got to wait and see. But I'm gonna ask you guys, who do you think won or lost the trade, or who do you think is gonna suffer because of this trade?
Mm.
I think a big part of it comes down to if Kansas City just doesn't go make any moves, right? If they go get other receivers, then they could be okay in a sense. I mean, you still have Patrick Mahomes, but I just want to say, like, I was completely wrong the other day and completely right at the same time about something other. Like, I was completely wrong about Patrick Mahomes being able to throw 50 to Tyreek Hill because clearly Tyreek Hill's not there anymore.
Right.
But I did call it. I said there was something up with Tyreek not being at the wedding, and he got Kelsey and all his boys.
You
And
did.
I
You,
called that. I
you
called
did.
that, and I said, "Listen, these dudes."
You also said the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I said no. I said they were the best team in the NFL, and I guaranteed 45 touchdowns to Patrick Mahomes. But based on that current roster, but nah. Listen, here's how I picture. I picture Mike McDaniel walked into the office and was like, "Listen, so I heard y'all paid the last guy money to lose games. Now, just hear me out. How about we pay money to win games? and they said, "Well, we do have some money. What do you have in mind?" And they were like, "Well, Tyreek Hill, that guy's pretty. That guy's. I heard he called himself the Cheetah. Maybe some other people
Yeah.
call him that too.
Yeah,
But
no, yeah, that's his nickname, and I mean,
yeah, and
his speed says it all. So
and they were like, well, you know what, we do have all that money because apparently the last coach didn't take it to lose, so we do have that money sitting around. And by the way, Calvin Ridley's $1,500 bet ain't sounding so dirty right now, but anyway, but yeah, I'm thinking, man, like the 4 years, $120 million, and by the way, them Florida taxes.
Do they have taxes? They don't have taxes, right?
No,
I
so
don't
that's like
think so.
extra
Yeah.
money. So not only this is the biggest deal, this is the biggest deal.
I
He gets
think like Florida and
money.
Texas, right? Something
Yeah,
like that.
Florida,
Florida and Texas,
Texas.
yeah, as
Yeah.
far as taxes.
So
Yeah,
this is
we're
big
going,
money. This isn't just this is huge money. Because sure it's only 70 million of that 120. So we could probably see him only getting that 70 million, depending on how he's doing in the next 3 or 4 years. But that being said, like at least he'll get most of it because of the taxes down there and stuff. So kudos to him going and getting his money. But like I put on the bottom screen, this is his comment was, he goes, I like Pat, I like Kelsey, but someone comes to you with a lot of money, things change. And and he did. He took the money. He ran to Miami right away. I think this on paper puts them above New England now. I think it puts them a little bit behind the Bills, but they went out and made a ton of moves, Miami. And I like this team. It's a nice little team. They were good last year with what they had. They just got a lot better. So I like this team. That's a good division right now.
would you say they got a lot better or a lot faster?
Yeah, shoot.
I mean, they added in a lot of areas though, not
They got a
just
lot of speed, but like for instance, Raheem Mostert, he can fly, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
And
You know,
I was just about to say, I was getting straight to that. I was about to be my first point. Like, I mean, with Tyreek Hill going to the Dolphins, I understand getting your money and all that, but let's go back to a couple years. I want to say, I think when the Chiefs won their first championship, when him and Patrick Mahomes was up there chilling, they was like, "Yeah, man, how many Super Bowls y'all think y'all can win?" Tyreek
yeah,
was like, "Yeah, man, I'm up here with the George stage. I want to win like 5, 6 rings."
right.
What the hell happened to that?
I think they all in Kansas City. I think a lot of them guys thought they were going to have rattled off 2 or 3 up by now. I really do. And
I mean,
after they realized it's not so easy, they realized, you know what? I'm getting up in age. I got to go get my money now. I got the ring. I got to go get my money. And I don't blame him. He chose money over rings. But at the same time, Miami's a good team, so we'll see.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, and to answer Nico's question, who do we think is going to lose out or whatever? Grade the trade, I should say. I honestly feel like Tyreek is going to lose out on this. Yeah, you have the money, but I feel like your numbers are going to go down. You got to think Patrick Mahomes is a completely different player from Tua. And then the thing is, Tua, his health has always been an issue since he's been in this league. So I really don't think Tyreek is definitely going to have the same numbers that he would have been
he
putting
didn't think
up in
that
the
through.
Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, yeah, you got your money, but you won't have the same numbers. And I mean, don't get me wrong. The Dolphins did put on a hell of a show that second half of the season by winning 7 straight games after losing 7 straight games. But I mean, I just still feel like you going down to Miami, that quarterback situation. I feel like they got to fix that because unless miraculously Tua is just coming out, has the healthiest season this season and throws for like 38 touchdowns or whatever. Shut me up. But I just really feel like it's a bad move on Tyreek's part. I feel like, Patrick Mahomes is still going to be Patrick Mahomes. He still has Juju Smith-Schuster over there, Josh Gordon. They still got a couple free agencies out there who they can possibly pick up or possibly trade for. So I still feel like the Chiefs are, still going to be in good hands without Tyreek Hill. So.
Yeah, I think everybody won here, though. Like, I think Tyreek, with this comment, made it obvious he wanted the money. So if that's what he wanted, then he won. I think Miami won by showing that, you know what, we're going to start trying, right? We're not going to be – because they've never been – not never, but it's not like they've been a 3-13 team every year. They're right there every year. They're coasting. Their last 6 or 7 coaches all had about a 500 record when they got fired. So they're a middle of the pack team, and it's like, man, why keep doing this every year? Either tank for games, which I don't think you should do, but they clearly were trying to pay their guy to do, or well, supposedly, or go for it. And I'm glad to see them going for it. So I like this move. So I think they win just by making it look like they're trying. He wins by getting his money, and Kansas City wins by clearing some space that they needed because man, they got a lot of guys on big contracts. Chris Jones, obviously Pat Mahomes, and so maybe go out and get 2 or 3 receivers for the same price, and we'll see. But I think everybody kind of won here.
All right, so look, real quick, I'm gonna read you off the size for every skill position player that they signed, right? I want you to guess who it is.
What?
No, just listen. Just listen. I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere.
Okay.
What's the coach for the Dolphins? He's coming from a what? A very run heavy team, right?
Mm-hmm.
First player, 5'10", 197. What position do you think he plays?
The receiver.
Starting running back, Raheem Mostert.
Okay.
Next player, 5'10", 182.
Is that Pat? Is that Tyreek?
Nope. Jalen Waddle, a
Okay.
rookie from last year. Next player, 5'10", 185.
Receiver now.
That's
Tyreek.
Tariq.
Okay.
That's Tariq. Next player, 5'9", 209. Guess who that is?
Linebacker, right?
No, that's Chase Edmonds from Arizona.
Mm.
So this is what I'm saying. You have all these smaller guys. Waddle, his first year, we don't know. But the thing is, you have a bunch of guys pretty much all the same size. So are you what kind of game are you adapting? Are you adapting a run first offense? Are you going to have everybody on sweeps, quick slants, deep balls? Hell, I think Tua might be 5'10", 190. You got a lot of small guys.
Very small.
And, a lot of them are majority of your cap. Now, if you could have had, hypothetically, a Derrick Henry, then it looks a little different. But for the coach of the Dolphins to come from a very run-heavy offense where you have a Debo Samuel to throw to when stuff get tight and he can make them play, who do you have now that can do that same thing? Because let's be honest, Tyreek Hill ain't going across the middle. Neither is Jalen Waddle. Raheem Mostert, is he going to be healthy? Chase Edmonds, can he withstand taking that beating 16, 17 straight games, getting 20 carries up the middle? So I think, they got spin happy. You got a lot of speed, but you don't have a lot of size. And the thing is, speed kills when you can get it in space. But can you get it in space?
They got some fragile weight over there.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is you kind of have a shorter quarterback, so throwing across the middle isn't really as big an option as throwing to the outsides anyway. So sealing up them outsides and making sure you have strong players at those positions is possibly more important. Because Tua's not exactly seeing over the line like everyone else. Like Trevor Lawrence might be or something. So,
but think about it. You're playing.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Let's just say on paper they look nice. In reality, you still probably take the Bills and Patriots over them in that division. But on paper, they look like they could edge out New England on paper, on talent wise. But I agree. It's but that's the thing. Even with size, though, we saw with Derrick Henry, and no one's guaranteed to stay healthy. So it's
Thanks.
You just got to stay healthy, and that's a hard thing to do with size.
The thing is, Tua the biggest one. Tua is 6'1", 217.
They got a lot of fragile weight over there, man. That's tough.
They say he's 6'1".
And then you still, I don't know if Miles Gaskin is still over there. He about the same size. He about 5'9", 190.
Hmm.
So, you're I I don't know how he's gonna do this, but I don't know if Raheem Mostert is gonna become your Debo Samuel or what. Hopefully he can stay healthy for them, but they're real small as far as their athletes. You got a lot of speed, but they small.
Yeah, that's why I agree with Walt. I think it's going to be like some people are going to see some numbers take a hit because it's going to be spreading the touches out, making sure no one's dominating touches because you don't want to see one guy like Debo Samuel get 15, 20 catches every or targets
Or
every
in their
game.
case, you don't want to wear them out.
Right. So it is more about spreading the ball out. And then because of that, Tyreek could take a numbers hit this year. But he got his money. So he kind of got
Yeah.
a nice numbers bonus too. So
But
For
we'll
sure.
we
see.
but we but we all know with the NFL, them that production, if it start falling, so do them dollars. Hey, we're gonna structure that contract. So
Start
instead of
turning this into
140,
like when they ask Chuck, who's this player play for now? He just start asking us random questions. We're sitting here, we don't know. I ain't
nah,
checked their
yeah,
weights lately.
They said
no,
he
yeah,
almost they said he almost went to the Jets too, though. But I mean,
well, let him tell it. He won't
yeah,
go.
he wasn't going. But
And then you got to think too. Now you got to play 3 games in Buffalo, in New York, and in New England.
Buffalo, New England gonna be tough for sure.
That cold weather. You
I mean,
can't be. You know, you ain't trying to
DK,
go across the middle on no. In no New England in December.
I about to say yeah, that Buffalo and New England weather is definitely different from that Kansas City weather for sure.
Yeah,
DK was saying that he didn't want to play in Kansas City because it's cold there. I don't know if y'all saw that. He tweeted that on every
it's
response.
cold in
I'm like,
Seattle too. What do you mean?
you understand they're talking about shipping you to Green Bay, right? Like, like,
Right. Which one would you rather have, son?
yeah. I'm like, and where you are, it rains every freaking day. So I'm like,
Right.
I don't know what you heard about Kansas City, but yeah.
Man, he better go whoever wants him because that's where your production is gonna go up. Both of those quarterbacks are doing pretty well.
Yeah, you need a
So
quarterback.
you better go where you can. But yeah, guys, let's transition to a coach me and Walt, was very fond of, when he was at a respective university in Ohio. You know,
There you go, man.
Miss he won the championship for us, very, NFL, they was a damn NFL team. Michael Thomas, Ezekiel Elliott,
That's crazy.
Braxton Miller. The defense was Joey Bosa, Von Bell, I think Eli Apple, Marcus Lattimore. Like they had pretty much NFL player at every position. So I don't know what's wrong with Urban Meyer. Now I don't even claim him no more. I just be like, he tripping. He tripping. I
I
don't
was about
I don't to be honest with y'all, I think he knew who Aaron Donald was. I hope he was just BSing with whoever he asked that question to. Let's hope that, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I was just
Take
about to say,
take it away, Walt. Take it
I was
away.
about to say, I mean, if you are a Urban Meyer like I said, as people at Ohio State adore, love, you know what I'm saying?
He bought us our last championship.
Brought us our last championship. I'm
Did you
sure
say
that
did you say bought us our last championship or brought
no,
us?
man, don't be like that. Don't do
Both,
that. Don't do
both,
that. No,
both.
don't do that. Don't do that.
We bought him
Don't do
then, and we paid him money
All
to
right,
win
all
us
right, all
that
right,
chip.
all
I
It
right.
don't
was
give a
earned.
damn.
It was earned. But I mean, I'm sure, like I said, him being Urban Meyer, a great, head coach, I'm sure he knows who Aaron Donald is. I mean, I'm sure he was just joking around.
I hope so.
Everybody know who Aaron Donald is. I mean, come on, let's be real. I mean, definitely one of the
If
best defensive players that we had in this league for a very long time now, and probably one of the best since LT. Let's be real. But I mean, I'm sure Urban Meyer knew who it was. I'm sure it was just a joke, and I mean, I'm sure they were just having fun with it, just like how we're trying to have fun with it right now. So
Yeah.
go ahead, take it over, John.
I, he, the comment was something to the effect of, "Who's this 99 on the Rams? Sounds like he might be a problem." That sounds like an old man joke to me.
Right.
That's what it sounds
Yes.
like to me.
Yes. Yes.
I also sounds like an old man version of a Jay-Z song, 99 Problems. But listen, like this this like staffer, I feel like so everyone was just dogging on him, like, oh, he said this to me, he said this to me. And by the way, Urban Meyer, that can happen to anybody. You in a situation where people let you get away with stuff for too long, you can turn into a monster. You really can. So I don't disagree with like that many people saying all these things, but I feel like there was like a staffer who nothing happened to him and he wanted to like feel involved or something. And so he's like,
He
this
just
is
had
like,
82 cents.
yeah, this is like you report your neighbor to the HOA for his dog pooing on your lawn all the time. And then like he gets fined and then you're like, oh yeah, also he didn't have a leash on his dog. Like it's like, no, man, you got him. You got him fair square. He's in trouble. You made your point. Stop just piling on when you got him. Like, and like that's what seems like. It's some staffer who clearly didn't understand a joke. Can't like I don't know. This does not sound like. But the thing is, the amount of media pitching it like this happened. It's gospel truth. We don't even know that he actually said it at all. But even if he did, like it clearly sounded like a joke. And this is some staffer, like whatever. I'm listening, I'm reading it. I'm like, I'm not getting what you're hearing from that. Like, but who knows? Maybe this guy wanted to feel like he's part of the dogging on everybody. So
Yeah, man. I just hope that he was playing. He was playing. I hope.
yeah, and that's the thing too is like they were terrible under him and all that, but like they were terrible when he left too. Like it's time we just admit that team was bad last year. Like they're acting like he was the reason they were terrible, and he probably was part of it. I mean, they were making instead of bringing in receivers like and that's upper management too. That right, they go get Christian Kirk and all these guys like last year, but when he was making moves that he was able to pull, like LeBron, he was GMing his own team. He went and got Tim Tebow, and I'm not taking a shot at Tim Tebow, but like, come on, man, like, come on, like that you use your power that you had to go get Tim Tebow. Like, man, if you had that kind of power to go get certain players, really, like Antonio Brown was just sitting there, and other players too, but whatever, that's beside the point. So I agree it's partly his fault, but this feels like just people just piling on now after it's all said and done.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
And to not even give your own name on something like this is something you could easily be like, oh yeah, no, he said it to me, and they're like, oh, some secret staffer. It's like, you don't even have the nads to say who you are. Like, nah, forget you, man.
Yeah, he was afraid. He was afraid. He was afraid. He didn't want that smoke. Just like I don't
He
think
needed
Dame.
Udonis Haslam to keep him in check, is what he needed, and he never had that.
You got to switch over
That what
association for that.
is that what he? Wow. Well,
Everyone needs that. That's why a lot of guys get married. Someone you can, you sitting there letting your thoughts run all day, and your wife says, "No,
Oh,
that's
oh,
stupid.
okay.
That's stupid. Don't go say that out in public." And you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, maybe it sounded good in my head, maybe not."
That's true
Hey,
though. Yeah, it's true though.
hey. Yeah, and we're gonna make another. We're gonna make a left real quick. Back to the association, guys. Mr. Dame Dollar thinks he can win a championship in Portland. I think Giannis has ruined the NBA because he stayed with one team. They,
Ooh,
it benefited them. A lot happened for them to
No,
win that
I was
championship.
just about to say, John. Yeah, it took a lot for them to win that championship, though. Let's be
They
real.
they they benefited a lot. If KD wore my shoe size, they wouldn't have got there. But Dame still believes he can win a championship in Portland. I'm gonna let y'all have it first. John, we're gonna go with you, and then we're gonna go John, Walt, and myself.
he said that his best days are ahead of him. I don't know if that means his best basketball days. He was talking about how his injuries have held him back and how he's finally feels like he's playing injury free for the first time in like since 2016 or 17. I don't know how long, but I'm sorry, man. You had an incredible stretch during those years. So I don't believe that his personal game is going to get that much better. I think we have seen the best of Dame Dollar. And also he could replicate that same person, but I'm saying I don't think he's going to show us something that we haven't seen.
Mhm.
I think what's missing here is, have we seen the best of Portland? For years, people have said no one wants to play with Westbrook. No one wants to play with Westbrook. And I'm like, well, let's see. He got Melo, he got Paul George, he got Oladipo, he got AD now and LeBron, he got Harden. Everyone played with Westbrook. So what are you talking about? No one wanted to play with him. You know who no one's gone to play with? Dame Dollar. Nobody. And so, like, if is it a him thing or is it a Portland thing? I tend to I think he's popular around the league with the other guys. I don't know, but maybe it's a Portland thing. Maybe guys don't want to move up to Portland. I'm not really sure, but I don't think we've seen the best of Portland, and so until we see the best of them, no, I don't see him ever win a championship. Now, does he really believe that he can win one? I think he might actually think he can. It would take a year like last year where I
Wait, what?
it would,
Like,
He's not
it would
lying.
take a year like last year where Kawhi gets hurt, where you face the Hawks, where KD steps on the line with his shoe. Like it would take a year like that. But yeah, I think he believes he could win on a year like that. But listen, man, who's your guys? Like, are you gonna go battle with just your Nurkic? And I like Nurkic, but like, I'm sorry, man, you gotta.
Nurkic and Josh Hart. That's all he need.
Yeah, and so
And
like,
Simons, whatever that kid's name is. I think his name is
Yeah,
Simons.
yeah, him too. Yeah, he need him to drop 40 every night though.
because when you
Cause
have
you ain't
Dame
winning
Dollar,
nothing.
you can't. It's not a rebuild. You can't. You have to go get him stars, and they haven't done it. They got lucky with McCollum, and outside that, really, they haven't really gone. I mean, they got Melo at when the rest of the league literally said we don't want Melo. They were like, well, I guess we'll take Melo, and Melo could still ball at a high thing, but like Portland was just like, it wasn't like they wanted Melo, and they haven't really made any big move. So
I'm gonna put Melo back on the map though, for real.
no, I appreciate that, and I was yelling at everybody for why no one
You
was
were.
going to get in Melo, but like being said, it's not like they've really made a push for a star in his prime. I mean, at that point, even then Melo was coming off the bench, so
Thanks.
I think he does believe it, but I think in his head he even knows like it's going to take an extraordinary year. And also, he said he wants to win an MVP, and I think he kind of cares about that. Not only he cares about it more, I think he knows it's more realistic for him to win MVP than it is to win a championship.
Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
Um, Dame, if you are watching this, if you ever do watch this, get the hell out of Portland. You're not going to win, bro. You're not going to win, bro. I hate
Yeah,
this. I love the confidence. I love the competitive spirit. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, don't nobody want to go to Portland. For one, you feel me? Two, I really don't know if Dame has really a lot of friends in the NBA though, because I seem like Dame is like a loner for real. Like if you're like not family with Dame, I seem like he don't mess with you for real. Like real talk.
I
When
mean,
have you ever
yeah,
when have you ever seen Dame like really conversate with people
on
like
a
in
banana
NBA?
boat.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm just saying though, when have you ever actually seen him conversate with people like in the NBA? Like it's really just been mostly like family or anybody like in his inner circle. So it's like, yeah, I don't think he really. I honestly don't think he has the pull to bring people to Portland. To be honest with you, they got lucky with CJ McCollum with the draft, and then you can see CJ McCollum got up out of there. And I honestly feel like him going to the Pelicans was probably the best bet for him, honestly. But that's if only Zion and they can get all the other situation together down with the Pelicans. But like I said, Dame, you got to get up out of Portland, bro. If you want to try to win a championship, like I said, you're not going to win there, bro. You're like John said, you're going to need a lot of stuff to happen for you to actually win a championship there. Maybe you could win an MVP. Definitely, you could. That's probably your best bet. Is you're probably win an MVP, but win an NBA championship in Portland. I don't see that. I don't see that shit happening, man. I don't.
Yeah, if he wins an MVP, right, maybe his career will be. I don't. That's not fair. I was about to say validated, but I was going to say validated like Chuck's, right? Right? Like okay, you're a top 75, top 50 player all time, without the championship. But yeah, man,
Well, in Chuck's case, though, he did lead a team to the final.
Right, that's facts.
You know,
Chuck has
I mean,
led the team to the finals, and I think he almost led the league in scoring too, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, he was, Chuck. He did a lot. He did a lot.
He did. I
But
feel like he did a lot more than Dame because I mean, let's
I
be real.
think,
Dame ain't did nothing since his rookie year, honestly.
but all right, I'm gonna put it in perspective like this:
Well, accolades.
two places that are not attractive are Portland, Oregon, and San Antonio, Texas.
That's where I
The
thought
only
you was.
difference between the two is San Antonio has won championships with Greg Popovich as a great coach. Portland ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. Can you even name the coach in Portland? And no shot against him is just it's not an attractive place. Do you know his name?
I feel like an
uh,
asshole. Though.
No, we're not trying. I mean, if coach, if you see this, we're not trying to be funny. We're just saying
it's
it's not an attractive place. It's just not.
I'm
Now,
treating.
if game was like in Orlando, that'd be a little different because you're in Florida, palm trees, beaches, great weather. Portland is like from the looks of it, it get cold as hell in Portland.
Chauncey Billups. I'm tripping.
It is Chauncey then.
Chauncey Billups.
Oh snap! I thought it was that other guy. That's right, it is Chauncey. But no shot at Chauncey. We like
Definitely shout out Chauncey. I'm
we
not.
like big shot Billup. Hey, hit us up so we can set up that interview. Um, but like seriously, guys, it's
I
just
love the fact how we talk mess about somebody and then we try to give him an invite onto the show. He do that shit
no,
every
but
week.
seriously, like it's not
Nico
a
does this though. He always asks us questions we weren't prepared for on the show.
Yeah.
So, what's Chauncey Billups' weight and height? Go. It's like I don't want them. Come on, man.
hey, gotta keep you on your toes.
I can
But
respect
no,
that.
seriously, it's just not attractive. And even, I think if Chauncey Billups knew what they were going to do with him there, I don't think he even would have took the job. Cuz it's like you ain't giving me nothing to work with. You got me out here battling for the lottery. At this point, you done traded CJ. Nurkic is hurt. It seemed like every year he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dame, he's hurt. He has his, 10, 15 game stretches where he's hurt. So it's like, what is it? What are you giving me to work with?
That's the thing is Dame has been super vocal about not recruiting, wanting to recruit players, and he's been super critical of the rest of the league, and maybe that's why he doesn't have banana boat pictures of other people like joining up and all that stuff. He's been very critical about that, right? So, maybe he like maybe they've asked him like, hey, would you please help us recruit guys like to come play, and he just like, no, I plan to win by myself. Who knows?
It's,
I will say he did make the Western Conference Finals in like 2018 with
yeah. When they get
MJ and,
swept by Golden State though.
and in his freedom, but but then he got swept without Kevin Durant. So that kind of like set it, just set it back. But he did make the Western Conference Finals. I'll give him that. Like we can't take that away from him. But again, same thing. He got some nice runs in those series. And the other teams kind of collapsed on themselves. It's not like Portland really beat them. So it would take something going right, crazy. I mean, even that series, it was all set up for him. There was no KD. He had Golden State. All right, it's your turn to prove who's better. You were Steph, and he got swept. So that was the year for him to make the run at the finals, and he just didn't get done. So
At the end of the day, I understand that Dame's trying to do it himself, but everybody needs help, bro. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Jordan didn't do it by himself. LeBron didn't do it by himself. Kobe didn't do it by himself.
Magic, Kareem,
Nobody did it by himself.
yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that he's saying that he wants to win it in Portland by himself It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Like even
Yeah,
Giannis himself last year didn't do it himself. He had Middleton, he had Holiday, he had Lopez. I mean,
He had
he actually had great.
PJ Tucker.
He had some
All
good role players.
he
Right?
had a team.
He had a team though. You know what I'm
He
saying? They
needs
just didn't
yeah.
do it
Dame
themselves.
Dame
So
needs the best fit for him. I think would be either Philly or Denver, right? Where you get it inside out. You get the big man down there, and because here's the thing, right? All the great teams that had a one guy who did it by themselves had a bunch of shooters around them. Dwight Howard, Jimmy Butler, a couple years ago, like they had shooters around them. But Dame is the shooter, so now he's the guy, and he's their shooter. It's kind of so he needs to go somewhere where there's an inside out game where people have to respect the paint and with maybe a Jokic or an Embiid, and then he can control the top of the paint. But yeah, I don't see him getting it done by himself in Portland. No offense, to him, but to that team. Really, offense to that team and
Yeah.
what they're able to bring in.
it's no
Yeah.
offense. He can't be Superman, bro. I mean, that's all it is. It ain't no offense. It's just you
He
can't.
says he's going to come in 100% next year. I'm excited to see what he can do because man, he is so fun to watch. But yeah, no CJ, so Portland has to make some kind of move. Like they can't just do it with this team they have.
I think Dame he's wasting his time, man. You gotta go. You gotta get out of there.
Maybe he
You
likes
gotta get out
Portland.
of there. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure he does because they give him everything he asked for, all that.
I mean,
I don't
he's
think Portland's a bad city. It doesn't draw superstars the way a lot of other cities do.
But yeah, and that's all I'm saying. It's not an attractive place. What's in Oregon besides University of Oregon and the Nike factory?
No, it's Under Armour, isn't it?
No, it's Nike.
Oh, okay. I thought
Nike was founded in Oregon.
hmm.
That's
okay,
about it, though.
but I feel like Under Armour is this like the sponsor of Oregon University and stuff. That's why they got them
It's Nike.
dope uniforms all the time.
It's Nike.
I'm sure you're right. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Tell me.
I believe you. I believe you. All right.
I think both schools, Oregon and Oregon State. But it's like, bro, you gotta go. You don't want to be that guy. Like, man, what if he would have went somewhere and won the championship? Or man, he was cold, but he didn't get a ring. Almost like Charles Barkley. You did everything you had to do in the league, but get a ring. And Shaq reminds you of it every Thursday. You don't know what a champion is. So I'm gonna talk to Kenny like, bro, come on now. You ain't gotta do that. He know he ain't won. He know. He aware. Chuck, hit our line. We want to interview you too.
And then Chuck always lets him know that he lost two MVPs to Steve Nash.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that ring thing hits a little harder though.
Yeah, definitely.
No matter what. You like, for real, that's what we doing. It is what it is. All right, guys. So
Well,
going to college, in
college.
particular, HBCU football. Coach Prime came after some big organizations in the NFL. Well, really from what I can see, really just one former team, he came after, but over the weekend, he came after the Dolphins, the Ravens, the Broncos, the Texans, the Bills, the Bucks, Eagles, Vikings, Browns, and Panthers for not having a scout at Jackson State's Pro Day. He say every other team had a scout here, but y'all, what you doing? What you doing? You don't think they're good enough? What is it? I think he has a point. You gotta call people out on stuff like this. Because you know you need players. These can be rookies that can help the team out. Just because they had a small historical black college don't mean they're not talented. I mean, let's be honest. Walter Payton went to HBCU. Jerry Rice went to HBCU. Two of the greatest offensive players ever went to historical black college. So, I think he had a point. He did exactly what he was supposed to do, put people on notice. What you think about it, Walt?
Yeah, like I said, I definitely agree with you. With him just, pretty much trying to speak up for his players and letting, the NFL letting the NFL teams that didn't show up know, like, hey, we got players down here too. They might
Mhm.
not be, top five. I mean, 5 or 4 star recruits right now, but you know, I'm I'm Deion Sanders. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can. He has a team down there that can help develop, to get to that level to be a 4 star, 5 star recruit. But
Mhm.
I mean, like I said, I love the fact that he's sticking up for his team. That's just like I said, prime time, showing up, and I feel like with him having that status, I feel like that maybe with him speaking up like that, I should say, is maybe they will start showing up to future events that they will have. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if they're gonna have more like training camps or whatever, but yeah, with like I said, with him talking up on IG and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna just bring more recognition to Jackson State, so they can start having more scouts and people like that to come down there, so they can start recruiting guys like Nico was saying to get to the NFL level because they are gonna
Yeah.
need guys.
Yeah. And he also said, he was like, I guarantee they had scouts at Minnesota, Mississippi State, and Ole
Oh,
Miss.
Miss, yeah.
Two D1, SEC, you know, not powerhouses, but they're 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 pretty good. They're not the top of the top, but they do their thing. Ole Miss had probably one of their best years this past season. So, I don't blame them for it. What's your take on it, John?
Yeah, Deion Sanders said there's 32 colors in this Crayola box. I think he had them fancy boxes. When I was a kid, I had like 10 or 15 in mine. We had brown and blue.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
like them burgundy and the robin's
yeah.
egg. He
Our
had the
parents
fancy
didn't.
colors.
Yeah,
But
our
he said
parents
only,
gave
only
us the just the basic.
yeah, 5 colors. We were taking crayons from the table at Golden Corral and stuff.
Right.
That's where we were getting our
Yep.
crayons. But
100%.
But he said only 24 of y'all showed up, and apparently it came out to be 22. But he called out some teams and he said, "Listen, what are y'all doing now? This is what Portland. I will back to what we were talking about. Portland needs like this is what they want from Dame, right? Like someone who's recruiting constantly, and he's doing it through the media. He knows he's using his name, using his connections to do this. So it's smart on his. It's a business move, not just for his. Because come on, man, this guy has an eye for talent. He knows, like he has one edge rusher on his team who's probably like a fifth or sixth, maybe seventh round draft pick. Outside that, he doesn't have anyone drawing attention. Not one of his guys got even invited to the NFL Combine this year. So he knows that he doesn't have the talent to draw these scouts out. However, you could send somebody, man. That's all I'm asking, man. Just send somebody. Make my guys feel validated. Make this school, whatever. Listen, Cleveland. You have Baker Mayfield sitting around his house for $18 million a year. All right, you could send him out. You have him on payroll. Why not? No, I'm not saying
I'm
Baker,
about to say we're definitely not sending Baker Mayfield out there to
but I'm
Jackson.
just saying you got. There's somebody on Cleveland getting paid to sit around and not do nothing that day. Listen, send that guy out. Have him just make a appearance. But at the same time, these teams don't have to do that either, right? It works both ways. I feel on both sides, right? Deion, I get what he's doing, but at the same time, maybe they don't have nothing. Maybe the teams that he called out, he doesn't have anything at the positions they're even looking at, right? His best guy is an edge rusher. Is probably the only guy that's going to make the NFL if he makes it at all. Maybe these teams don't need edge rushers. The Browns have Myles Garrett. The Buccaneers have defensive rushers. Like a lot of these guys have the pieces that he has. So it
And
works
that's
both ways.
it just I don't mean to cut you off, but like you said, I think they top player is like an edge rusher and like I think a cornerback if I'm not mistaken because they just had some guy commit. Completely
Yeah.
forgot his name.
Number one player in the country.
But he's
Patrick.
number. I was about to say he's the number one player in the country. But I mean, like you just said though, I mean Cleveland. Not saying that they can't send scouts out there, but those two positions are pretty much already filled with, what I'm saying, Ward and what I'm saying, uh,
Yeah, but can you ever really
Garrett.
have enough? Can you have enough?
I mean, no, you can't have enough, but I mean, if you don't need it at the moment, why, what I'm saying, go out and look for it right now if you don't
So
really need
that's the thing, right? It's right. You can get Antonio Brown or Tom Brady in the 6th round and whatever shock the world, but that's not always guaranteed. Most of the time, I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen. So I get both sides on this. If anything, I like that he went from talking about crayons to going scriptural in like two sentences. Like the next sentence, he was like,
Where art
"Therefore,
thou?
where art thou?" I'm like, all right, we just went from talking about
Hey, he a
crayons.
spiritual man though.
Yeah,
He
he went spiritual on us. He goes, "Therefore, where art thou?" I was like, all right, I see what happened. But yeah, he's great, man. He's great for football. He's great for entertainment. He's primetime, right? He's great for so I get it. I think this was more of a business move. I think he knows in his heart that come on, man, you guys ain't gonna get scouted by everybody. They're just not. Not this year,
And
but
then
next year. But I think this is gonna because right, people are gonna feel pressured to show up next year. And what happens that now you got players who are like, all right, maybe I will come because you know what, people are gonna come.
I mean, not even that though. I mean, out of 32 teams, you had 22 show up or 24. I mean, I feel like that's not bad though. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you didn't have every team show up, but at the end of the day, to still have 22 or 24 teams show up out of 32, I still feel like that's a great accomplishment in itself. So,
But
Yeah, and I'm
also
sure.
too, I can understand where he's coming from because you can never have enough eyes. What one team might see, somebody else might, and they might take an interest to those kids.
and
And
who's to say? Like I said, that it takes time. To, like John was just saying, it takes time to build up to that stage, man.
yeah,
This is like this
100%.
is really like their first really big year. Well, maybe second, but I mean that they
No,
really.
this no, you was right. This is
It's like maybe like their
their
first
first.
big year that everybody's like really knowing them. I should say,
Right.
being out there in the media. So I mean, it's just gonna take time to progress. To get your name out there. Same with us. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna, you know, real deal sports ain't gonna just pop off like that overnight. You feel me? It's just gonna take time. You know what I'm saying? You got to progress. It's gonna take baby steps. So that's
That's
just
right. Even if we got 9 views, man, we're still putting in the work, man. Like the amount of notes I put in just for this show alone are like, I got like pages on pages on pages, right? Because eventually, one of these days, right? So that's the thing, right? That's right. That's the thing. So how much you get paid, how many people watch you, how many whatever doesn't matter. That's not what validates how good you are, right? You can be listen. There's good shows on the internet that I'll go watch sports shows that get like 500 views and they're way more entertaining than some that get 150,000. But like that's the thing. Same thing with Jackson State, right? And I think this was a smart business move by him. I think he knew what he was doing. I don't really think he's upset at the NFL. I think he knows this is good for the school going forward. And so kudos to him. I think it's a smart move, but at the same time, I also understand that these guys aren't going to all show up.
He just put them on notice. That's
Yeah.
he used his platform to get exactly what he wanted. Put them on notice. So, be aware that he will call you out. If you ain't showing his kids the respect he feels they deserve. At an HBCU level. You gotta. I don't blame him. But like you guys were saying, 24 showed up. Like, come on, bro. Everybody ain't gonna show up to everything. Now, granted, this might be their one and only pro day, but hey, the more you win, the more they'll show.
and that's
You
another
know,
thing. The more you win, and then regardless of more you win, and with him, like I said, being Deion Sanders, more NFL teams are definitely going to show up, man. I mean, let's
yeah,
be
100%.
his name is well respected around the NFL, man. Let's be real.
Right, 100%. But I like that he's doing this. He's putting people on notice. Like, hey, show these HBCU kids the same respect you show them. The SEC, the Big Ten, ACC, Pac-12, Big 12. Show them the same respect.
Yeah, what I'm afraid is going to happen though is they're going to show up to his school because they know the pressure's on to have send someone out, but not respect the other HBCUs and other smaller schools that deserve the eyes too. But that's what happens, right? These guys always give in to the pressure, but then don't actually do what you're asking them to do, which is go look at all these colleges.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. 100%. All right, guys. So, topic of the day today has been Mr. TB12 possibly being traded to the Miami Dolphins. Staying in state, just going over to South Beach. or going to partner up with Coach Shanahan and the San Fran 49ers. Frankly, for me, if it happens, I would be shocked because all the players the Bucks have been signing for him to re up, push for a Super Bowl, I would be shocked. And I wouldn't, I think San Fran is more of a attractive option than Miami, just based off of Debo Samuel, Kittle, um, Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu. I'm tripping. Brandon Ayuk. I'm sorry. They got a lot more over there to work with. That defense is young and relentless. So if he, honestly, for me, if he was to ask for a trade, I would prefer California over Florida. That's just me. What's your take on it, John?
Well, he knows Florida already, right? And I think he grew up in California, so I guess he knows
Yeah,
both.
he grew up a Niners fan, from what I've heard.
Yeah. So apparently, it's been debunked by the media already that this is fake. But this is the same media that also was completely wrong about Deshaun Watson. They were completely wrong about 4 different times on Aaron Rodgers' contract and a whole bunch of other stuff just this year alone, right? So this media is, they're guessing just like everyone else. But I'm gonna say it's fake just because, listen, man, what this would do to both his fan bases, like imagine he goes to Miami and takes them to a Super Bowl and whoops New England, in the several times throughout the season. Imagine he goes up north to Miami and beats the Buccaneers. All the Tampa fans are like, "What the heck, man? You just went down the road and then what is this?" I think he's gonna piss off both his fan bases if he were to do this. So that's why I'm out on this. I think no, he's too smart for that, man. He's gonna have a jersey burning in a lot of different places if he does that. Also, like you said, man, Chris Godwin came back, Jensen came back, Leonard Fournette he talked into come back. So I
Kappa,
think,
the center.
yeah. So
Or the guard.
and we'll see if what Gronk is up to. I know he's talking about maybe Buffalo, or now he's thinking, who knows. But yeah, he got these guys to come back, especially Godwin, man. Like, and especially on that contract. Like, nah, he's staying. There's no way he's leaving. So yeah, I'm out on this one. This is fake news. This is
Yeah.
Oh,
I think we are.
My bad. Alex Kappa signed with the Bengals. He ain't coming back.
Uh, yeah, I think we all gonna agree on this one. I feel like this is all fake news.
Yeah.
Yeah, the setup with the 49ers would definitely be nice, like Nico was saying with Kittle, Debo, and that defense, having Bosa and I think Wagner as well, Fred Wagner. I think I've said his legs, saying his name right.
Fred Warner.
Warner, I'm sorry, I apologize. But I feel like his setup with the Bucks right now is just pretty much Tom's perfect setup. And let's be real, I don't think his wife wants to pretty much move around anymore. I'm pretty sure she wants to settle where they're at right now.
I mean, San Francisco's nice.
Retiring, in Tampa.
Yeah, but them taxes ain't.
I'm not saying that that Miami's not bad either, but I mean,
taxes compared to Florida taxes.
Them taxes will make you reconsider. Like, damn.
But I mean, yeah. But just going back to the football side, Godwin, you got Evans, possibly Gronk coming back. You know what I'm saying? Fournette. Just stick with the same setup. You almost made it to the Super Bowl again last year. To pretty much make it to the playoffs. What, 3 years? Pretty much your entire career, pretty much, I guess. But yeah, just stick with the Bucks and call it a day, bro. That's it. Retire with the Bucks.
And then too, you in a division. Who's the second best quarterback? Marcus Mariota.
Sweet division, sweet ass division.
Yeah. So it's like, do you really want to go to Miami where you got to play Coach Belichick twice a year?
Now, hang on. Y'all sleeping on Jameis Winston again. Come on, man.
Yeah, but he's coming back off an ACL injury.
Yeah.
So, is he even going to play next year? And then, you know, Sam Darnold, Sam Darnold. I don't
Yeah.
Hey man, you didn't do too well last year. You might be better this year. I don't know. We shall see. But I mean, it's a cakewalk. Why would you leave that? Why would you want to face Josh Allen twice a year? New England twice a year.
And this is not saying that Brady can't do it. I mean, but just at the end of your career,
Yeah.
you kind of want to take. I won't say take the easy way out, but you just want to just go kind of smooth selling into
Yeah.
retirement.
Yeah, imagine being able to sit out the fourth quarter of like 3 to 5 games.
Exactly.
That's good going
Like
into
an
the playoffs.
NBA player.
Yes,
Yeah, that's real good going into the playoffs. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Because hey man, that DN hitting you in your back hurts a lot worse in Foxborough in December than it does in New Orleans in
that's why
December.
you got. That's why he's doing that TB12, man, to stay
Hey,
limber.
true. So stay limber in those domes. Don't go outside. Don't trick yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
And even going to um the Niners. You want to face Aaron Donald twice a year? He looking at you right in your face. You want to face that twice a year?
Don't make him bleed his
Luckily,
blood again.
yeah, yeah.
In Miami now,
Luckily
you got
Von
to face.
Miller left.
Yeah, in Miami, you got to face Von Miller twice a year. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
It's like,
probably three
hey,
times in the playoffs.
just stay where you at. Just stay where you at, Tom.
Yeah, the San Francisco gig looks nicer on paper. Man, Debo,
Don't look a gifted horse in the mouth.
utility
Just stay where
utility
you at.
player. He's still young, has a lot of passion, all that stuff. He wants it. Hasn't gotten a ring yet, obviously. On the other side, you got Tyreek, who's amazing, but he's got his ring. He already made it clear he wants his money. So, like 49ers is the better option if you were to go to the two. But no, this is fake. It's like I said,
I hope so.
it's a nothing
'Cause
burger. I don't know what that means, but that's what this is. This is nothing.
and then is Tariq gonna become your Julian Edelman? Is that that's what they trying to say? He a Julian
Hey, he
Edelman?
took a big dump last year in big hit last year.
Oh,
Um, took a big hit last year in yards per catch. Man, he was coasting around about 15 for his career, and he only averaged like 11 yards a catch. Like
who,
that is
Tariq?
slot receiver. Yeah, it's like slot
Okay.
receiver numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, guys. I stay where you at, Tom. Stay in them domes.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm about
yeah.
to say, at the end of the day, Tom, you need to stay with the Bucks. You already won the Super Bowl there. Try to do it again. If not, hey, it is what it is. Retire Buccaneer, call it a day, and that is what it is.
Yes,
But
sir.
we appreciate y'all joining Real Deal Sports tonight. This is your boy Big Walt, my boy Suave down there, looking suave-ish.
I try, boy.
And my boy John St. Pierre, the coldest white dude I know. You feel me? Hey, we appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Comment, subscribe.
And
What
yeah,
to do?
thanks to our 28 subscribers now.
Okay,
Hey,
we gotta send him $1. Okay,
hey, that might be
okay.
with somebody that I did a lift for. I told him to subscribe to our thing. So hey, that might be them.
We'll take it.
All
So
right, we
hey,
gotta
no,
give him $1.
hey, no, we appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
He's trading subscriptions for 5-star reviews. I'll take it.
You damn right I am. Make sure y'all give me 5
Hey,
stars. Damn it, I need it.
We gotta do what we gotta do, baby. Gotta get with it to
Damn
get
right. All right, y'all. This is Real Deal Sports. We love y'all. Peace.